You guys know how we start this whole thing. Roll call.
Kaya.
Ryan.
Mikey.
Kyle.
And Steven! Welcome back, everybody, to a nooner. Yo, it's a nooner. Welcome to our nooner on, I think, is it technically today Valentine's Day? Or it's tomorrow Valentine's Day?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it's tomorrow, yeah.
It's tomorrow. Today's the 13th.
Gross. Would have been easier to put it all on today. Anyways, welcome back to episode number 47 of our Mole Master campaign with our favorite adventuring party from Mole Master, the Odd Jobs, for part 6 of Eye of the Tempest. In our last adventure together, our favorite adventuring party from Mole Master had taken the hard path and climbed up the side of the mountain leading to the monastery of the Yellow Rose instead of going down the front door. There they discovered an altar bearing symbols of Yan Bin, a clear perversion of the holy matters atop the mountain, as our party discovered a recently constructed building out of sight from the front of monastery, hidden behind the large golden dome of Ilmater. The party was attacked by an air elemental, a guardian of that very shrine that the cult of howling hatred had erected outside of Ilmater's gaze. The party made quick work of the air elemental before descending down into the valley, heading towards this large tower that we will refer to now as the Tower of Winds. The party took their time and stealthily made it to the monastery, noticing a group of monks collecting blueberries for what Rornak would know, the blueberry wine that is so famous of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose. Rornak showed the party an entrance into the monastery, where they began to trek down a hall that had a number of clutter and objects, finding that this hallway was rigged with not one, not two, not three, but 4 traps. The party was successful in dismantling 2 out of the 4 traps, leading to a large statue of Saint Solars the Twice Martyred, the patron saint of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, to crash into the door behind them, effectively blocking the exits and preventing anyone from coming up from behind the party. The party took a short rest before continuing forward, not before Rornak opened up a poisoned door and got a nice poisoned dart to the palm, which would be bad, but he's also a level of exhaustion, so tired and hungover, just like in real life, or at least hypothetically. The party then moved up to the Tower of Winds, climbing up the rooftops and entering in from the first balcony. There, an immediate fight broke out between a number of Mephits and the cultists on the bottom floor. The party absolutely dismantled most of these Mephits and cultists, with some highlights being a good use of Crowd of Madness, a College of Creation to create a 5 square foot boulder of quartz to roll down a set of stairs and crush some of these guys, and just good thinking and positioning from the whole party led to a rather astounding victory for the party, at least for the moment. As the battle, at least this part of the battle, comes to a conclusion, we'll return back to the party. We will say there's a part of me that doesn't want to break initiative, but also a part of me that wants to break up initiative. So we'll say, as the final method is destroyed, we return back to the party. As you all hear the sounds of what Jove now recognizes as Yavendel, a cry of pain from atop the Tower of Wind, echoes down, reverberated through kind of the open airways here. We are still, if we go back to the map over here, also there for chat, for those of you who are asking what meme that is, when the party's action should be absolutely resulted in TPK, but the DM decides to only kill one of them. Not enough to sting, just enough to make you think. There you go. We return back to the landings. If I remember correctly, I believe Jove, you are at this side of the stairs, the south stairs, while the rest of the party is around kind of this black dot. as we kind of break initiative. There is the set of stairs that lead up to another set of landings. Could everybody roll me a perception check?
Passive 17.
That's a 17.
10.
10.
Passive 12.
15.
Wow. Okay. So for my 12 and below, you see this set of stairs leading up to another set of landing. The next one up above this one. So we are currently at. We are at the south balcony. The next one up is the west balcony. That you would see. You just ascend the stairs. Another 10 feet up the stairs. My 15, you can see another set of stairs leading up to a third platform. Jove, with your 17, you don't see what is beyond the balconies, the kind of next landings. But you do, ever so faintly, hear what sounds like the clinking of glass vials. Kink, 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 kink. As if somebody is moving around. So, with that,
Like they're rolling, or just like the sounds of a table moving with like glass on it.
more of the sound of glass clinking against glass. Like, you know, when you get like two bottles and they clink together?
So kind of more
Oh,
like
like
restaurant style.
Like that scene from Warriors.
Come out and play. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Warrior.
Warrior!
Play.
That was one of the first games I played on the PS2, was the Warriors video game.
Hey, that was a
good one.
classic. Yeah.
Absolutely. I got my ass beat in that burning building many a times.
Well, I guess Jove will whip his head around, because I think right before this we heard another shriek of Yavendel, right? So
Yes, this is like, as the shriek subsides, it's like you're all looking up towards the origin of this screech. And that perception check is kind of what you guys would have seen or heard looking up.
Yeah, Jove will whip his head around, and since he's kind of like already on the stairs, he is going to start up them, look back, and yell, sounds like there's more up here, and that's certainly Yavendel up top, so let's go, guys. And he'll have his a javelin in hand, and really he's in go mode, so he's not wanting to really sit around, so he's going to continue to use his short stubby legs to climb those south stairs to see what he sees.
Absolutely.
We'll follow.
Jasper, with your movement speed, you're able to immediately catch up.
Yep. Ronak will take off after them.
And with the caboose being Fredward,
Yep.
squad.
Freddy
Wait, real
does
quick,
Freddy does a kill and says, here we go again.
we dispatched the sleeping folks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Jasper, I believe it was Jasper slit their throats.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was unnecessary to roll for those. Yeah, you guys hold down the two sleeping dudes and slit their throats. It's over.
Yeah, you hurt them with sneak attack. They're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're asleep, prone, technically unconscious. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. So you've dispatched the sleeping dudes. So in order, Jove, Jasper, Rornak, and Freddy begin ascending up the stairs. They are. Jove, go ahead and roll me. This would be. Gosh, because you're a dwarf on this one. Just go ahead and roll me a d20.
Flat D20 is going to be a 3.
A 3? Yeah, you just keep moving up. These are some rough steps. You guys ascend. It's about 10 feet up the stairs, so not a ton of time goes by before you reach the next landing. This one facing out towards, instead of the south, back towards the monastery. It looks out west. You can see a number of those kind of small, squat buildings, that kind of hodgepodge of roofing and tiles and different structures and buildings behind the monastery, but it is mostly clear. Looking around, Joe, with your passive in 17, this landing appears to be empty.
Can he specifically be looking for that like pile of dust that the other methods seem to kind of apparate? Because if memory serves, Jove like watched that happen.
Indeed. This is going to be an investigation check.
Investigation's going to be 17.
17. You look around, you can see on the floor there are 3 distinct marks of what looks like the remnants of like a campfire, like little scorch marks and like charcoal marks that seem to streak towards the landing, like the end of it. You know how each one looks downwards down the tower? It's the same thing on this next one, just 10 feet higher. And you can see they lead up to kind of the edge before disappearing.
Well, I think whatever those creatures that came, the especially smoky ones probably came out of here. So I think we might be able just to go on through this landing, folks. And would continue to go up unless anybody had any objections to that.
No, I think we all trust you.
All right. Jove, you lead them up another 10 feet to the north balcony. This one stares back away from the monastery and the Golden Dome. You can see that the number of structures dissipate rapidly towards the north side of the monastery. There's still bits of mountain that continue to slope up behind the monastery, yet to be excavated, yet to be formed into another extension of the monastery. Still some of that natural wild to the north and the east of the monastery. But as you approach, once again, you come to another kind of open air landing. This time you are now 50 feet up in the air, give or take. You can hear the winds. You guys all start to feel kind of the hairs on the back of your neck begin to stick up. You can taste that kind of ionized air, that slight metal kind of copper taste that predates a lightning strike for victims who have been struck by lightning. You can even know this area of the monastery, compared to the storm that you guys braved to get here, is calm. You can already hear above you that familiar howling of wind. And then another cry of pain, this time closer, louder. And even though you all have met Yavendel, Jove is the only one familiar enough at a distance to recognize that voice. But now that you are close, now the rest of you clearly recognize the voice of Yavendel, the Summer Strider.
Jove will whip his head back and say, remember what happened with that air elemental in that last house that we were at back in Mulemaster. A nice gust of wind can push us off anything, especially a tower like this. So try and keep as centrally located as you can. No reason to give anybody an easy option, if you know what I mean.
Why is it always gotta be on a fucking tower or a wall or some shit? They really
Seems to
pick
be-
their places.
Yeah, well, seems to be a cultist thing, if I'm being honest with you.
At least one of them was in the basement.
We go safe.
The next one's gonna be underwater, I swear.
Once again,
Oh, we already
what
did that
happened?
one.
Yeah, get out of my DM notes.
Yeah.
'Cause it was fun the first 2 times. The third time around, it's really funny. But after this one, you've broken the rule of threes. Unless you do it 3 more times.
Whoa.
Fuck! Just like a Legend of Zelda game.
Oh my god.
Congrats, you found that piece. Now go find 3 more of them 3 more times, and then you can get to the next leg where you're going to do the whole process all over again. Welcome to Breath of the Wild.
You see this boss 3 times, by the way.
Hey, this is Twilight Princess. Hey, remember that shard we spent a whole game trying to get to? Yeah, this is one of 4. We're going to do this whole thing 3 more times. And then you got to find 3 more shards if you want to go fight Ganon.
Can we talk about the audacity of Twilight Princess where they're like, heart pieces? 5. You need 5 of them, actually. I'm like, okay, thanks. Anyway, sorry, I will go on.
They wanted to switch up the formula.
a
They did that by increasing them by 1.
That Krabby Patty secret formula doesn't smack as well as an adult, let me tell you. Or essentially switch to imitation crab meat. Anyways, same order as you guys go up to the east balcony with Jove, Jasper, Rornak, and Freddy. Excellent. So, they don't give me a great map for this last landing, but the difference on this one, besides it facing out to the east towards where you guys originally, or I guess technically that was west where you guys had. So this one faces out towards east. Oh, I got my directions messed up. All right. Either way, as you guys enter this top kind of balcony, instead of being open air facing down into the rest of the tower, this one has kind of a full, the whole landing has a floor to it. So you can walk through the kind of central area. As you guys come up the stairs, I need everybody to roll me a... I believe this is going to be a Constitution saving throw. Actually, first is... This would be on Jove, so it would be Jove and Jasper. I need you to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Nice. Nat 20 for 25.
Success.
And I got an 18.
Success. As you see Jove, you get up to the landing expecting what you've seen before. However, you are met with the sound of something made out of glass shattering at your feet. There is a plume of yellow gas that just briefly smells like roses before you move your head away to avoid inhaling this gas. Jasper, you see Jove immediately turn away and look back at you and cover his mouth. You follow the same suit as the gas kind of envelops both of you for a second before lifting up. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Booty.
Booty. I'm gonna need a new page. All right.
Another set of middling initiative rolls.
Interesting.
All we're missing is a 12.
Oh, man.
That's my bad on that one. Everyone else was ready for the full thing.
have
Or
Johnny
Jove.
roll
Wait,
for
Jove
it.
could have rolled the 12 and it would have been fine. I won't take full credit.
Yeah, it's, Rochambeau to see who takes biggest blame.
I'm in the caboose, so.
I picked Sham. What'd you pick?
Bo.
Damn it.
Ugh. God, shit. And then 14, 13. Freddy. Wait, where the fuck is Jasper? Jasper, what's your dexterity?
+3.
+3. Gotcha. Okay. So, to set the scene, you guys, much like the enemies on the ground floor, are heading from that north, those north stairs into this kind of room. The stairs leading to the very top floor of this tower are in the same spots as they are on the map. However, the difference is that this area does not drop down into the rest of the tower. This is a complete full stone floor. So the entire area can be moved around. It does lead out to a balcony facing to the west, a full 60 feet up in the air, leading to just a straight drop, looking back out towards the glacier that you guys came up across, towards the very shrine that you guys made your way down through to get to this tower. On the inside, since it's Jove and Jasper, you're the only people that have kind of your heads high enough to see what's going on this landing. I'll say, Jasper, go ahead, roll me a perception check, as well as Jove.
My maximum 19.
Wow.
I got a 17.
17. Okay. With the 17 and above, so you both see lined up on the next set of stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see 4 of these cloaked, dagger-wielding cultists, each one bearing that symbol of Yansi Bin hanging around their necks, as they all toss up their daggers in the air, and you can see them start getting that rapid spin as the wind almost speeds up their dagger throwing. However, with the 17, Jove, you see that there is one individual who has like a bright yellow cloak on. It ties tightly around the center of the body, but extends out and hangs like real air-like and billowy off like the appendages. Almost like, remember, for those of us who are in public school, which I believe is all of us, do you guys remember the juggling section of your PE classes where they give you the scarves? And you learn to juggle scarves because they float in the air and you can really do some crazy stuff with them. Does anybody remember that?
No, you just had a super cool school. Or else mine sucks, because I never learned how to juggle.
No, yeah, mine sucked. They just gave us beanbags, really.
Yeah, at our
Hey,
school,
you got like a neon pink, orange, and yellow scarf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dang.
Okay, so half the party understands the type of yellow material I'm talking about. All kind of tied around this individual, a mask going up, leaving only just kind of their eyes towards you all. And you can see that they are moving with a speed as if they are stepping on the wind as they rush towards you. Jasper, however, since you were below Jove, as the kind of this noxious yellow gas rises and kind of drifts away from you, beginning to be sucked out through that balcony opening, you can see in the center of this room and kind of a large pillar that seems to be holding up the next or supporting part of the next floor up. You can see in kind of like a crow's nest like area, there is another one of these cultists. Hanging off of their body are a number of sickly yellow gas, what almost looks like glass grenades affixed to their body. As you see what I refer to as a balloon grenadier hiding up in kind of this crow's nest. The source of this noxious yellow gas that almost took you and Jove. But as that sets the stage with Rornak and Freddy down the steps, so that 1, 2, 3, 4, each one is 5, 10, 15, 20. Great, so like the entirety of the stairs, every 5 feet, there's one of you guys. Beautiful. At the top of initiative. In case, does anybody have any other questions before we jump into combat?
I'm sorry. Did you say how many feet the crow's nest was from ground level?
It is on the ground level.
Okay.
Up, it's about 10 feet towards kind of like the roof of this, and it is the very center of this room. So that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 40 feet away from where you're at, Jove.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely. However, starting the initiative is there's a scarf man floating in the sky. He'd like to come and meet you, but he's afraid he's going to blow something, as I need Jove, Jasper, and Rornak all to make me a... Give me my goddamn hurricane. Where's my Versace Flock of Flame? Hurricane. I believe it is a... Oh, it doesn't tell you that. How are you going to tell me what saving throw is going to be if it's going to be a class feature on this dude? That's not fair. That is unhelpful. Constitution saving throw, please and thank you.
Oh. All right.
Shit.
Yeah, that's an 11.
That's an 11.
9.
9.
13.
13. Okay.
It's not against poison, is it?
No, it is not against poison.
How could I get worse?
So that was a 9, an 11, and a 13?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the 11 and the 13 pass.
Oh.
The 9 does not, as you take
Super.
super pooper scooper.
That's some good soup.
That's going to be 8 points of thunder damage, and you are pushed 10 feet back. Freddy,
Oh my God.
Freddy and Jasper, I need you both to make dexterity saving throws.
You said 8 points of damage?
8 points of thunder damage.
And then a dex save. Well, that's good. That's a 21.
A 21. A 12. Jasper, you are pushed back the 10 feet. However, with a 22, you, as you're being pushed back, you feel your body hit Freddy. You're begin to kind of spin, and you feel for just that 1 second as your body goes, what was it, parallel with the stairs, as you were like staring at the stairs, like face to face. Your feet, however, touch the side of the wall, and your boots stick you there. So you are moved 10 feet back, but you're currently still standing on the wall. Freddy, what did you roll for your dexterity saving throw?
12.
12. A 12. Yeah, a 12. A 12 will do. You see your sister get hurled back at you, knocking into you, but you're able to keep your feet as her feet kind of almost stick to the kind of side of the wall as her body for a second begins to like spin in the air like a parachuter who's in free fall. But with the 22 dexterity saving throw, we'll say you're able to keep your feet. You are pushed back, however, behind Freddy 5 feet.
Okay.
All right. So Jove would have had the best view of this. You see this individual with speed that is even greater than Rornak and Jasper's. And with this maddening kind of cackle that sounds like a howling cry, they push both of their palms forward, and a gust of thunderous wind echoes out. It sounds out through the entirety of this tower, this large booming noise, before they pull back with their superior speed and get right up next to that pole where the balloon grenadier is. And that's going to be the Hurricane's turn. Speaking of which, is now the Grenadier's turn. As Jove and Rornak, I need both of you guys to make dexterity saving throws.
Ooh, nice. 24.
Pass.
13.
And
13.
13, hold on. Ooh, it just saves.
Oh, boy.
All right. Since you don't fail the dexterity save, you don't inhale the gas. So that's going to be their turn. Then it is the first of the initiates who is going to roll with advantage and send a dagger to you, Jove. That's a natural 20.
Hit me.
That is max damage as well.
For fuck's sake.
That's 10 points of piercing damage. As you see one of these kind of spinning daggers, these wave-like daggers, gets thrown in the air. The wind almost seems to accelerate it, and instead of throwing it, it's almost pushing it forward. It and Jove, you see it sticks straight into kind of like the center of your chest as you're trying to not inhale this gas.
And the bit of spectral Johnny that had kind of been around me flits away. Those temp hit points are consumed.
It stops the blade from it. The blade goes. How many points did you temp HP did you have?
I had 5.
5. It stops the blade from going about halfway as far. It only gets about an inch into your chest before the residual Johnny pops, but stops the blade's force.
And I rolled 13 on concentration for hunters.
Indeed, got you. All right. Yeah, that cultist is then going to bridge the gap and get right in front of you, Jove, pulling another dagger from their holster. It is then Freddy.
Okay. I think I'm going to. The Stinking Cloud is not a good thing to have as your only 3rd level spot against a bunch of wind people.
What?
Yeah.
What? Do I have the ability to get rid of your fucking stinking clouds with any of these characters this time around? What?
Maybe. We don't know for sure.
Who knows?
Are they clumped together at all?
The 3 on the stairs are all 5, 10, 15 feet apart. And then the Hurricane and the Balloon Grenadier are next to each other. Although they are technically 10 feet apart because one is 10 feet above the other. And then there's the one cultist in front of Jove right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Melee attack. Okay. So Crown of Madness also doesn't do much. Let's see. I'm going to do a Fairy Fire to hit as many. No, because they're all spread out, so that doesn't do anything either. I'm just gonna do a Firebolt
All right.
on one in the air.
All right. You send a firebolt towards the Grenadier.
Does a 7 hit?
Does not.
Sweet. All right. That's my turn.
Absolutely. Then it is Rornak.
Alrighty. So you said the main juggler here is about 40 feet away, right?
Yes.
Dang, I'd have to sprint there. Is there any that I could get to within range? of 20
With your
feet
20
now?
feet of movement,
Or would I have to sprint at that point to get close?
you give me an acrobatics check to see if you can get up these stairs and around Jove to get to the cultist that's in front of him, which would be the only thing within your regular range.
I would probably just rather take the dart throws on that one than try
Absolutely.
and acrobat off these stairs. Yeah, not with the disadvantage. So
Yep.
Uh,
Roll me that dart throw with disadvantage, though.
will do, of course.
Rolled 2 17s there, so
2 17s? Yep, that'll do.
okay. Yeah. And then for the second attack, let's see. And that's a 10.
A 10. That's two dart strikes, I assume.
Yes, yes, at 10 for the second attack, for the second dart.
Okay, so what was the damage on the first dart?
Oh yeah, damage. That was for 9.
For 9.
9
That's-
piercing.
Just enough. How do you want to do this?
Ooh, we're getting a little high up here, but Ronak is obviously very acclimated with the monastery and kind of senses some of like the draft and the currents, and with it he's able to almost like literally snake the dart around Jove with just this crazy accuracy and speed as Jove, like you almost hear just like whistle past your ear as it just curves right around your vision and straight into this thing.
As the cultist in front of you, Jove, drops as you watch this dart enter in one side of the skull, like right at the temple mark, and then pop out the other side. All right, Rornak, any movement from you?
He'll move up to like just behind Jove,
Okay.
if he's not already, and we'll leave it there.
Yep, you move you move it a little bit of the ways forward. It is then number 2. All right, Rornak, this dagger's going for you this time.
Hit me.
Not with either of those rolls. That is does a 14 do?
14? No, that is too low.
Curving back around, curving around you, Jove. It's this weird sensation of like one of Rornak's darts curves around one side of your head, and then around the other side of your head, one of these daggers curves around, aided by the wind, and right into the wall next to you, Rornak. You see one of these wave-like daggers. However, these guys really don't want you guys to advance, so number 2 is going to use their movement speed. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35 is just enough to get right in front of you, Jove. As one falls, another takes its place. As we jump down to Jasper.
Can I get to the balloon guy, like via wall or anything else, with my 40 feet?
With your 40 feet, even climbing the wall, you don't have enough movement from down here.
Okay.
Yeah, because if he's 40 feet from Jove, you'd still have to go 10 up the wall, then hop over, get there, and then still move that distance. Now, with your bonus action of dashing, yes.
Is the one that's up in Jove's grill kind of keeping us from being able to really get into the room?
Oh, yeah. Specifically for that exact purpose.
Okay. Then I'm gonna get up in his business, and if I can utilize the wall to, like, get over and around him, that would be even better.
You could get up to the wall and slash down, but to get around, I would need you to do an acrobatics check. You'd have to do like if Anakin Skywalker had successfully taken the high ground for Obi-Wan, I would need you to make the acrobatics check. Because the wall will end and go straight into that open balcony.
I feel like running up, Jasper intends to do it, and then, like, feels how exhausted she is, and she's like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking do that. So she'll take the attack from above.
Yes, it won't give you flanking, but you do have an ally within 5 feet, so if you hit, it will be sneak attack.
Dope. Nice. That is a 21 to hit.
A 21 will hit.
Not so great. It's only 8 magical slashing.
8, you cut one of the arms off of this individual, you hear like the sound of that squelchy kind of thud, and you see one arm begin rolling down like a terrible slinky.
A terrible slinky.
Like
I
a
love
terrible
that.
fleshy slinky. And as this cultist like cries out and grabs their arm, they are on death's door, but not quite there yet.
Okay.
With an 8.
That'll be it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jove.
Seeing the opportunity, he is going to use his spear and drive it into the center of mass of this cultist.
Go for it.
That is going to be for a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit. I'll just say, how do you want to do this? Because he has 1 HP.
He's going to hit him in the center and using his like lower point, kind of fulcrum him up and toss him down the center of the tower, if that's possible.
You go to heave him up. However, he falls. You like begin to toss him over towards the rest of the tower, but there's only floor there, and then you'd be tossing this dead body into your allies, the whole weight of them. So you just kind of shug it forward. It goes boom, 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 and you see it roll all the way to the edge of that balcony before the body falls off the balcony's edge.
Then Jove will advance off of the stairwell into the full landing. With his 25 feet, can he position himself in such a way that he would have line of sight and 30 feet distance from the, I believe you were referring to him as the hurricane?
With your 25 feet of movement, since you're at the top of the stairs, yes, the hurricane is in the direct center of the room. Next to that balloon grenadier who's 10 feet above him in that kind of crow's nest. So as you enter there, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If you wanted to be 30 feet away, you could move into the room and be like directly 30 feet, and you would have the balcony behind you. You could 5, 10, 15, 20. You could get to the other set of stairs. You could go into the room. You kind of have a ton of options here, Jove. So you look at the map and tell me where you want to be.
He wants to take his own advice of trying to stay kind of in the center of the room, lest we get pushed out by wind magic. So I would say he would probably be trying to avoid any steep edges so he doesn't suffer the same fate that he just rolled that other guy off of.
Okay, so if you wanted to get 20 within 30 feet of the hurricane, you could head into the room. You could head towards the southern stairs. It's a hard one for where you're at because so much of this kind of side of the room opens up into that open air balcony. Of course, you could always just run up into said hurricane's grill.
Oh, is he on the ground?
Yeah, he's on the ground. He's not up in the air. He just moves so fast, it's like he walks on air. But only the grenadier is up in the crow's nest. He's on the ground.
All right. Well, then he will, I'll say, get like 15 feet away from him, and then use his bonus action to move Hunter's Mark over to him. And then, like, as he is making the approach, he's going to throw that, his second javelin.
Go for it.
That is going to be for another dirty 20.
A dirty 20. On the hurricane, that will indeed hit.
I'm going to use Piercer to re-roll one. Better than nothing. That is going to be for 12 piercing.
You hurl that javelin, and you see this individual in kind of scarves look at you, and like Aang with airbending, spins, and as the javelin like goes kind of past like the scarves, he catches the end of it, turns to you, and hurls it right back at you using his reaction. Does a 17 do?
Nope. he sidesteps, Matrix style, not to be hit again.
Yeah, you hurl this javelin. You watch them, airbending style, catch it and then carry the momentum and hurl it right back towards you, Jove. However, this isn't the first time you've had your own javelin hurled back at you, so you simply step to the side and with the force almost seeming like it doubled from when you threw it. You watch as that javelin strikes into the stone and shoots out into the open air. You can see a bead of light. And to like shoot out from behind you. Anything else from you, Jove?
In that case, he is going. He'll stay there for now.
All right. It is the last two remaining culty boys. They are going to move. Okay. One is going to throw their dagger at you, Jasper. Oh, that's a crit fail, but luckily I have advantage. A 3. A 1 and a 3. Okay. I know that's not going to hit you. So he'll use his 35 feet. He can't get quite within your range, so Jasper, 10 feet away from you is one of these cultists. The other one, however, he's already used his bonus action on that one. So he will move towards the hurricane using 35 feet, and he'll throw that other dagger at long range at Jove. So this is just a flat roll. Boy, 3 is the number of the game. These two other cultists begin heading down the stairs, one heading towards you, Jasper, the other one heading towards the hurricane, as they both push these wind-aided blades in your guys' directions. You can see they stick into the walls near you guys, but nowhere close to actually injuring you. As we go back to the top of initiative. That's going to be the hurricane, baby. That's going to be the hurricane. You know what, Jove? It has taken quite the interest in you, my friend. So, moving at that blistering speed, you see the hurricane gets low, runs almost at like a large bird on the ground, like head first, like arms out wide. You're expecting them to pull blades, but instead they just turn their hands like as flat as possible, like a karate chop, but only letting the tips of the fingers forward as they like rear up on you. They drive both points of their fingers straight into your chest, as if trying to pierce you with just their bare hands. As they make 2 attacks on you. First one, that is it's going to be a 16.
He has his shield up to block,
The next one is going to be an 18.
and that meets.
All right. That is going to be 4 points of bludgeoning damage. That is the first one, you're able to get the shield up, but the blow knocks it to the side, leaving the perfect room for him to drive his fingers straight into your chest where that dagger wound is, and you feel the fingers enter in a little bit. Pulls back. And then that's probably good enough for him. Interesting. Yeah, he's going to stay right there for now. As then it is the Grenadier's turn.
I rolled 23 for concentration.
Nice. Let's see. Can I have Jasper and Rornak make me dexterity saving throws?
That is only an 11.
An 11. Gotcha. And Jasper? Jasper?
Sorry. 4.
4. Okay. Both of you need to make Constitution saving throws as you take 9 points of piercing damage.
9.
9. Gotcha.
And a
You
14.
said it was 8 points or 9 points?
It is 9 points of piercing damage, and then for the
Great.
Constitution saving throw, Kaya, you are also poisoned
Cool.
for 1 minute. Rornak, you are poisoned for the hour. So you are still poisoned for pretty much the entirety of this fight. Kaya, you will no longer be poisoned after 10 rounds.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's the Grenadier's turn. You guys merged with that dude, so it's Freddy's turn.
I'm within range to run up to Jasper and
Oh, yeah.
touch her, right? Okay. So I'm gonna run up and do a cure wounds.
Thank you.
You know what? We're gonna do it at 2nd level. Fuck it.
Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it.
So you get healed for 11.
Well,
Wow!
Thank
And then I'll use whatever movement I have left to just back up.
Yeah, you would have moved, like, from where you were standing at, and from where Jasper's at, so like 15 feet up, and then 15 feet right back down. Alright.
Whatever I'm doing, it seems like they don't mind me too much. So I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Gotcha. Then, after Freddy, is Rornak. And then it's Rornak.
But who is it then?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I took like a giant bite of food just before you said that. I'm so sorry. Anyways.
There's no eating allowed.
-1 for too big of a bite.
Hey!
Too big of a bite.
Too big of a bite.
Hey!
My spoon's too big.
Literally. Literally, I had the too big spoon and I took too big the bite.
They
But-
said, guys, no sloppy steaks this time. But they can't stop you from ordering a steak and a glass of water.
Let's make them sloppy.
Let's slop them up.
Slap him up. Sorry.
That's really funny to 3 people in this room. And possibly really well-cultured chat members. So, there you go. But yes, Rornak, it is your move.
Okay. How many feet would it take to get like kind of near where Jove is to get like kind of past the balcony and inwards more then?
From where you're at? How much movement speed do you have? You've got only
I
the
only
20.
have 20 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you had gotten right up behind Joe. So it'd be 5, 10, 15, 20. You could get, because if Jove is right here, and the hurricane is right there, you could get to like the side of the hurricane. You wouldn't be able to get exactly where Jove's at, because he's got 5 feet more movement to be at, but you could get to like the side of the hurricane.
Okay. Yeah, Rornak will go ahead and do that. Grabbing Earzarn and going for the attack. It's a 6, or no, sorry. Roll with disadvantage. There we go. That's only a 12.
A 12 for the hurricane. That is going to be that's a no. You come in with your Zarn from the side, and this is basically going to be my recreation of just Aang for all intents and purposes, of just spinning around. What you go to strike for flesh ends up being like more scarf. You just end up like shearing a little bit of like that kind of yellow scarf like material off the kind of billowy clothes of this individual.
Yeah, all right. We'll see if we can find purchase with the next. That is an 18 today.
An 18 will hit though.
Beautiful. And they will take 12 magical slashing as
Ooh.
again catching you off guard. That first attack is kind of always meant to kind of like bait him into a position and then just drives it back with as much force as he can on that second strike.
It's easy to
Viper
dodge the
equivalent.
smooth side of Irzarn. It's much harder to dodge the jagged side. The irregular pattern to it, the odd shift of weight, and just the actual different size variations of spiked clawed metal that comes out the opposite side of Irzarn makes for quite a confusing range. As you kind of catch the hurricane in the arm, they are able to kind of go over the top of the blade to stop it from piercing in deeper, but you can see a deep wound in one arm as bits of blood begin to stain that yellow scarf.
Beautiful. And we will go for the follow-up as well. Follow-up unarmed strike, of course. And erased my nat 20, but I did still get a 19.
That'll hit.
Nice. So that's for another 6 bludgeoning.
Gotcha.
As he's pulling it back, and kind of like gets the ears on into like kind of a ready position. He gets him with a quick just elbow strike to the face, kind of not quite stunning him, but definitely waking him up a little bit after that.
Beautiful. I believe that's the end of your turn, Rornak, as we move over to Jasper.
Where are Rory and the Hurricane, which is my favorite indie band, by the way?
So they are from where you're at. They are exactly 5, 10, 15, 20. They are 15 feet away from you. If you head straight, so like you're at kind of that wall at the top of the stairs. If you head directly east on the map, 20 feet, like 15 feet, you'll run into Rornak. 20 feet, you'll run into the Hurricane. And then just north of the Hurricane is where Jove is at, kind of so that his back is towards a wall of the landing. So in case any wind magic did go, he wouldn't be blown out a balcony. I believe that's correct, right, Jove?
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
She would love to flank the Hurricane if she can.
You absolutely can.
That will get rid of her disadvantage, and then she's going to use Fighting Spirit to gain advantage on this. And also 5 temp HP. Okay. Nice. Let's see if we can crit. Okay. So that's a 23 to hit.
A 23 will hit.
Jesus, what is with the damage rolls? That is 9 magical slashing.
Yeah, you slice up from kind of the shoulder blade down to the hip on the Hurricane. He is looking incredibly bloody, or they should say, but they're not down yet.
That used like what, probably 30 feet of my movement.
You can either get you could have flanked with Jove or flanked with Rornak. Jove will cost you 25, Rornak will cost you 30.
Okay. If we flank with Jove, then I think she'll use her remaining 15 feet to try to like if she can like get within melee range of the guy up on the crow's nest. That would be great. Otherwise, she'll just stay there.
Yeah, you could get to the pillar, but you wouldn't be able to start making your way up it.
Okay. She'll
So
stay here then.
chooses to stay there. You got it. Then it is Jove's turn.
All right. Well, gonna do some spear attacks to this dude's legs. I believe flanking, with flanking on, right?
Indeed. Because Jasper did not move.
Crit fish. Okay, so I had a 26 for the first.
That'll hit.
That will be 4. That'll be for 10 piercing.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Sweet, yeah. He is going to use that advantage of him being distracted from Jasper to really drive the spear through the back of this guy's knee to really just like pin him down to the ground and to add one last gory, bloody wound to the others that he has gained throughout this small skirmish and truly make it so he's unable to fly or move or, I suppose, take another breath.
That's the last of his breath leaves him. That's it for the hurricane.
He is going to then look up, and if I have this right, the guy that's thrown down the bombs, or the potions or whatever, he's 10 feet above where we're at, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, then he'll use whatever movement he has to get an angle to throw a javelin.
It's a pretty easy angle at this point.
Will use his bonus action to move over the hunter's mark before he does so. So he's got one javelin coming up to that individual, which is going to be a 22.
A 22 will hit.
Nice for max damage. So that is for 17 piercing.
Gotcha.
And then I suppose we'll back up a couple more feet just in the interest of not allowing this guy to hit two of us at once with one of those stink bombs.
You got it.
That's turn for me.
The two remaining cultists, one's going after Rordak, one's going after Jasper. Actually, who's closer? From there and from right there. One was towards the hurricane. No, the biggest threat right now is Jove. So they 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. They've got 35 feet. Oh, yeah, they both can make it to you, Jove. Because they're both going to come after you after you killed the hurricane. That is a 22.
It's a hit.
And a 21. So,
2 hits.
that's 2 hits. 2 more dagger strikes as they both fall upon you, daggers in hand. That is going to be... That is 4 points of piercing damage on the first strike and 5 points of piercing damage on the second strike. That's going to be both of their turns. As we go back to the top with the Grenadier, who is going to switch out. Instead of grabbing from one of the glass vials on his hip, he pulls out what appears to be a long, bended metal blade that doesn't have a handle on it. As he picks it up and he's going to hurl, and I know this is just going to sound like this is my own Avatar The Last Airbender fanfic, but I'm going to throw a boomerang. First one's going at you, Jove. That's not going to hit. That's only a 5. However, the boomerang returns backwards and is going to go after Jasper. And that one is a 19.
Yeah, I mean she didn't see that coming, so of course it hits her.
Get you right in the back of the head, and that's gonna be 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so her fighting spirit, like her spidey sense went off, and she just like dodges it.
Gotcha with the temp HP. As it comes back
Yeah.
perfectly into the Grenadier's hand. He's gonna stay right there as it goes down to Freddy.
Oh, yeah. Are they grouped up at all now?
2 of them are grouped up on Jove, and then one is still up in the crow's nest.
That's all that's left?
That's all that's left.
Oh. That's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'll go for the Grenadier with a Firebolt again.
Go for it.
Does a 13 hit?
No, it does
That's
not.
my turn.
Gotcha. Rornak. You see Freddy lifts it up. Pew! Pew! Gets right back down.
Oh goodness. Okay. And the one that I was fighting with before just went down, right?
Yeah, Jove killed the hurricane.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I guess we'll grab a couple of darts and try to take aim at this Grenadier here.
Go for it.
Pop the bubble. That is a 12. To
A
hit.
12. Not gonna do.
Kind of figured. One more chance. Does a 16 hit?
That will hit.
Beautiful. And they will take nice. That'll be 9 piercing as another as one dart is able to find purchase. The one before kind of being a little adrift in the wind, and Rornak kind of having trouble steadying the hands, just given the sheer exhaustion and poison in him.
You toss out this dart. It sneaks through the air, and you see it plunges into kind of the kind of where the hip and the leg meet. However, as it pierces through, you hear a clink of glass breaking, and the sound of as you watch the Grenadier fall from the crow's nest in like a plume of yellow smoke.
Well, damn. I wasn't even aiming for his own stuff, but I'll take that.
No, but you did enough damage to finish it, so.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Rornak would otherwise move a little bit further into this room to kind of try and stay away from the balcony. So I don't know how much movement speed I would be able to move there, but that would be all for Rornak.
You got it. Then it's Jasper. There's just the 2 remaining cultists on Jove.
Yeah, if I can pick on someone your own size, assholes, she's gonna flank one and attempt to hit him. Does a 17 hit?
A 17 will hit.
Beautiful. There's some decent damage. That is 15 magical slashing.
15 magical slashing. How do you want to do this?
She's done it so many times. This one's almost a little too casual. Just buries the axe deep into the back of this dude's skull.
Gotcha. He drops like a load of bricks.
That's her turn.
All right. Then Jove.
Good Jove sidestep in a way that would give him flanking on this last remaining one.
Flanking on this one. No, not unfortunately not, because to get Jasper to get flanking on the other one, there's no one for you to flank with.
Gotcha. Then he will, feeling that connection with the Grenadier having been cut, he will bonus action to move the Hunter's Mark to this thing in front of him, and then will take the spear and plunge it into this thing. Maybe with a, what is that, 14?
14. Yep, that'll do.
Okay. Next one is going to be for 11.
For 11. How do you want to do this?
Oh, nice. Yeah, so as Jasper comes and puts her axe in the back of the head of the other one, and it falls forward nearly at the same time, Jove is able to slip the spear point into under the jaw of the one in front of him and takes it back. So kind of like two dominoes that are falling in opposite directions. Jove and Jasper take out the last two cultists.
Indeed. All right. I will say, with that, we are technically out of initiative.
Cool, yeah. I think Jove would go over and quickly look over the ribbony fella or the person and see if there's anything besides just a cultist medallion on him.
Go ahead and roll me investigation.
Nice. 25.
25. You don't find anything on the hurricane besides the necklace, of course. However, you do see, as you're looking over, you do notice a strange backpack on the Grenadier. And you find in it a wondrous item, which is the backpack itself. It is called a balloon pack.
A balloon pack.
Indeed. It looks very much like a regular backpack with kind of a ripcord attached to it. Go ahead and roll me a Arcana check, Jove.
Nice. Arcana, I'm looking at 19.
19. Looking at it and kind of how it's designed and what you know about these cultists is that when the cord is pulled, this balloon pack will act like the levitate spell, allowing you to descend or fly from high areas downwards safely.
Nice.
So I want to just ask this now. So if there was ever a moment, could I use it as a reaction?
That is
vis-a-vis Featherfall?
Yes. So, you can either use it as an action to cast, like, it would work like the levitate spell, or you can use your reaction and it will work as the feathersfall spell.
Fucking yes. Cool. Jove will slip that on.
Absolutely. We'll say at this current juncture that, like, you're pretty sure that's how this would work. You're not sure if it recharges, if it's a one-time use, how long any of that works. But, you know, with what you have gathered from the cultists, how they work, and what this is likely going to be all the way up in this top tower from somebody who was high up in the air, that is what a 19 Arcana will tell you.
Yeah, so Jove's going to take, the time that it takes to do all of that.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long with those good rolls. We'll say, about 30 seconds after the end of this fight, considering it only took 18 seconds for this fight to go down, you hear another kind of cry from Yavendel as you kind of take this balloon pack off the grenadier and put it onto yourself. It does not require attunement. You just simply have to wear it. So, as Jove claims the balloon pack, the rest of you kind of regather on this final landing, a set of stairs leading up to the rooftop. Here, not just the hair on the back of your neck, but you feel in places where your skin touched. Freddy, you're the first one as you kind of get to the top of the stairs and go over towards your party. Your hand brushes up against Rornak, and you feel that kind of static shock jump between you two. Not enough to hurt, but every sort of movement now. It's kind of like when you've been in a house that only has shag rug everywhere, and everything you touch seems to zap you. It's a whole lot like that, but it's the entire air at this point. Everything seems charged, electrical. The wind outside of here, out the balcony, you can hear it howling through, and all this is cut with the screech of Yavendel's cries. What would you like to do? So everybody stands still in the darkness and doesn't do anything. And then the tower collapses, Yavendel dies, and the game is over. Great session, guys. I'll see you later.
I mean, Jasper's gonna move ahead, assuming that's what it looks like everyone else is gonna do. How's everyone looking health-wise?
I'm fine, but I'm not the problem.
I took a couple of hits back there. If someone has a spear potion or something, I'll take it, but otherwise, I can soldier on.
I have a potion.
How are your lungs, Jasper? I know you got a snoot full of that gas.
Yeah, I've definitely been better, but I don't know. I feel like we don't have a lot of time to lose on this hunt for this Yavendel person, and Rory looks a lot worse off than me, so let's just worry about getting him to the top, and then we'll
Rory,
go.
take a potion of healing. 2d4 plus 2.
Nice, thank you. And that does put Rory in a much better spot.
If you use your action to drink it, you just take the 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. He will take a second to just fully drink that. Because I assume, are we out of initiative or are we still in initiative?
You're technically out of initiative for this moment.
Okay. Then yeah, he'll take his time to drink the whole thing and get the full 10.
Absolutely. We'll say the better part of the minute passes as Rornax drinks the potion, Jove gets the balloon pack, the party reconvenes at the top of this step.
Howdy,
then-
folks.
Go for it. Sorry.
It's going to mean a lot to me to make sure that Yavendel makes it out of this in one piece, just like the rest of y'all. So I'm going to be focusing on her as best as I can.
Yeah, we'll back you up.
Of course. Do what you have to do to help your companion. And we'll make sure that this blasphemy of a tower is dealt with.
Well, let's plunge forth.
All right. Marching order.
I think Jove wants to be at the front. He's feeling spicy.
If Jasper can double up on the front row, she will. Otherwise, she'll be behind him.
Freddie, do you want to
Last.
take the... All right, I'm third.
All right. You guys make your way up the final landing. You walk up the steps, feeling that energy get stronger and stronger. you can see Jasper as you're following Jove. His hair is beginning to stand on end, starting to lift up. Looking back at the rest of your party, you see bits of your clothing, bits of your hair, all beginning to pull upwards as this kind of electrical energy gets stronger and stronger as you open up the kind of hatch that leads to the final landing of here. Looking around, you see that there are tons of pillars here. Actually, hold on, I have something for this.
Currently holding.
Okie dokie 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 dokie. Go on to Discord. Oh, that's the wrong Discord. There we go. The top floor. So, as you guys enter, this would be, since you guys came to the southwest, we'll say the north set of stairs is where you guys ascend up towards. All of the dots on here are a number of pillars, each one being around 20 feet tall. The peak of this roof being held up by these pillars, another 15 feet above that. You can see in the center of this roof what appears to be a 6-foot tall iron rod bolted into the floor. And at the top of the rod is a wrought iron cage that holds Jove. You immediately see the twitching and shuddering form of Yavendel, except she's not in a solid form. You can see that her body is being arced with energy. She seems to move from her solid gnome form into one made of electricity, almost becoming elemental for bare moments. And as another surge of energy rushes into the rod, jerkily channeled into Yavendel, her body turns to lightning once more, and then back into her gnome-like form. Looking around, you can see at each one of these balconies, there is a blue-skinned humanoid that stands, each one swirled around by a small whirlwind, bits of lightning arcing from the rod into their very forms as if they are channeling the very energy, the very storm. Now at the top of this tower, you can see so far across the glacier, across the monastery, you can really get just the grand sense of how far this storm has reached to nearly every corner of the Moonsea, and it is only growing stronger. But there, standing next to the central pillar with Yavendel, you see a man, a strange bird-like feathered garments, all finely embroidered. And looking at it as you guys ascend the stairs, you could see that this individual is in a much larger storm cloud. They seem directly connected to the central pillar, and you can see loose cloth hanging from his arms. You could see everyone here besides Yavendel seems to be channeling power into this central node. Could I have everyone roll me an insight check as they see this scene?
Two.
18.
That was insight, you said?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a 23.
21.
18.
18. Freddy is a whole lot of bad stuff right here. It's just real bad. It's just looking bad, and it's just more bad. The rest of you, however, with those good insights, you immediately recognize the individual at the center of this. the feathered mask individual known as Jot from the Karamitrio compound. Jasper, you can see kind of hoisted along his back these wicked-looking spears that you remember last time caught you in the back and nearly killed you in the burning Karamitrio complex. However, as much as this is startling to see Jot leading this kind of ritual, you can see with your good insights that this ritual is incredibly unstable. As they are drawing more and more power, cycling it through Yavendel for whatever purposes this ritual is causing, the magic is incredibly wild. It is arcing out. The lightning seems to stem from the rod itself. I'll say with your good insight checks, you know that standing too close to that rod when it discharges into Yavendel will likely strike you. You get this worrying sensation of a ritual gone wild, and the ramifications should this ritual go out of control. And as you guys enter up the stairs, you hear another cry out from Yavendel, who writhes and screeches inside this wrought iron cage. She twists and looks around, trying desperately to slam her body against the cage, but her form just will not allow. And in parts, it seems as when she goes to grasp the bars, her form flickers into lightning for a second before it passes through. She can't seem to hold anything together, and she looks over, and for just a moment, Jove, your eyes meet. Jove? You've got to... Another pulse of energy, and you see beginning to form above Yavendel a concentration of air, lightning, and storm. It begins as a small point, no bigger than a pebble, and is beginning to expand. Can I have everybody roll initiative?
I knew I was gonna roll that too. I knew it.
You knew you were going to roll that too?
No, I rolled the 2 on the last one, and then I was like, that means that this next one has to be a 1, right? And then it was.
Ah, yes, of course. All right. So, let's roll. So, Jot. Is different. Jove. North. Okie dokie. So, you guys are entering from that from the north set of stairs, which is super weird that the map puts 2 sets of stairs here when there's nowhere it says that there are 2 sets of stairs. So, ignore the southern set of stairs on this one. You enter in from that northern. At each one of the balconies, directly in kind of the center square and point, you see one of these blue-skinned humanoids, the symbols of the cult, flying around them, as like the necklaces around their necks are constantly whipped up by these what looks like almost like personal whirlwinds that accompanying them. And then towards the very center, you see that large iron rod with Yavendel at the top, with Jot, the individual from the Karamitrio complex, in a much larger whirlwind, who seems to have the most direct connection to whatever this ritual is. We will start at the top of initiative, which is going to be Jot.
Oh, it's not the 4?
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? Okay. But there are rules to this sort of thing. So, he is going to use an action. But you guys don't know about that. So, Jots uses his turn. Then it is northeast. The individual to the east is also going to cast Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okie dokie. Get that ready up. We go on to Jasper.
Yeah, looking at all this crazy shit happening right now. Jasper's just kind of like, Jove, what should I do?
And he'll quickly reply, fuck up one of the blue guys.
She will identify the blue guys.
All right.
and go after the nearest one, I suppose.
Okay, the nearest one as you go up the stairs, squeezing past Jove, would be directly to your north. He is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. From you, he's 25 feet away. I'm about to use 5 feet of movement to squeeze past Jove.
Yeah, she'll get up in his business and let's see. She's gonna try to get round to his side a little bit, and then she's actually gonna take the dodge action.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you're able to get to his side. You've got plenty of movement speed. Do you want to be to his north, his east, his south, or his west? You have plenty of movement speed here.
The north is the opposite side I came from, right?
So you are at the north set of stairs.
Oh, okay.
And so you went to the closest one to you, which is going to be the blue-skinned individual to the north. Took you 25 feet, so you can kind of be at any angle you want.
I'll get to like the opposite side of where I came from, so.
Okay, so you're on the west side of him.
Yeah.
The southwest. Okay, you got it. And you use the dodge action.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. After Jasper is Jove.
So Jove is going to go his 20. These are 20. These are 5 foot squares, so he'll go 25 feet directly south. So 10, 15, 20, 25, which I think will put me. I forget. Did you say that the bird-like guy? What cardinal direction is he around the star in the central?
He would be to the south of
The
it.
south. Perfect. Then so he'll do the 25 feet down. He'll kind of have that like oblique line of sight on him, and he is going to. We'll start off just by moving Hunter's Mark over to that guy and tossing 2 javelins at him. Or I guess the first one. He'll do the first one first. So
Please roll with disadvantage.
that's probably a miss then. Yeah, so definitely like 12. Actually less than 11, so.
Yeah, Jove, you throw this first javelin towards the individual you know as Jot, who I will refer to as the Bloodwind for the rest of this one. You throw a spear at the Bloodwind, and that storm around him rages up, and knocks your javelin to the side. As he turns, you see the eyes that used to be covered on this kind of mask have now been like ripped out, and you can finally kind of see the gaze behind these kind of darkened areas of the eye holes, and they meet yours, and there's just kind of this wicked smile that begins to stretch across their face as they smile to you and then look back up at Yavendel and continue their chanting.
And yeah, he'll just go ahead and send that second one with the disadvantage.
Yes, please.
So with the disadvantage, that is going to be 18.
An 18 just hits.
Ooh. Yay. Gonna use Piercer to re-roll one of them. Take it. So that's gonna be for 11 pierce.
11 piercing. The spear goes through. You put some extra oomph into it to pierce through that whirlwind, and it goes, and it looks like it should be just a direct shot as the bloodwind turns back around, and the wind flips over the javelin. He grabs hold of it and pushes it back, and whoosh, with twice the amount of force, Jove, your javelin is returned back to you. Well, it's a good thing that happened. That is a 19.
That'll hit.
Going to be minimum damage. Lame. That is going to be that's 1, 2, plus 4. That is only 6 points of damage.
All right. And I forgot, did you say this guy was flying or on the ground?
He is on the ground currently.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Then that will be Jeff's turn.
Got you. Joe, roll me an insight check.
Ooh, insight, that is going to be 19.
A 19. Yeah, with that, you are sure that as long as that whirlwind continues, that you will find your ranged attacks to be most ineffective.
Sounds about right.
Absolutely. Then moving down from Jove would be the individual to the north, who I'm going to refer to as their title name as an elemental anchor. There you are, Jasper. You're right there. So, you're going to get 2 short sword attacks with disadvantage because you dodged.
Yes.
Oh, that drops a 19 down to a 6. So the first one misses. The second one, double 11s. So that's solid, but with their bonus, does a 17 hit.
Just barely hits her shield in front of it.
Yeah, Jasper, this has been a hard one for you as far as fight by fight goes. Not only do they have a ton of range, but they're fast. And you're not used to your opponents being faster, just as fast, if not faster, than yourself. And with the kind of few strikes this individual does, you see that they stop chanting. The energy that connects them to the rod still maintains, but it appears that they are free to chant or stop chanting at any point as his focus turns on to you, but the energy does not break. Then, since that's the end of his turn, Rornak.
Beautiful. So I know I'm working with 20 feet here. About how far from me then would... Because Jasper had to move like about 30 feet to get to where she is, right?
She needed, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, she needed 30 feet to get to the west of this elemental anchor to the north.
Okay. Rornak, I'm gonna burn a key point to use Step of the Wind. And I'll use dash for my bonus action. give myself the 40 feet to put myself right next to where Jasper is, and if I can actually flank with my speed here,
You can flank.
I will do that and roll normally as I pull ears on and go for the attack. Oh, close to the nat 20, but that's a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
Beautiful. Roll damage. So that's 10 magical slashing on the first strike, and then the second. And that's a 19.
Yeah. 19 to hit again, for sure.
Beautiful. Nice. That's another 11 magical slashing as Rornak finds the strength to try to get into go mode as he gets back to a bit of his normal speed and comes in last in there. And we will go ahead and do the unarmed. Oh, wait, no, we can't because I used my bonus action. That's all
Yes.
for roll.
So that was a 10 and 11 for damage.
Yeah, so 21 altogether.
21 altogether to the one to the north. As you strike this individual twice, Rornak, you feel your muscles tense, as if you'd just been bitten by a Keela, as you take 4 points of lightning damage.
Oof.
Don't like that, but gotta keep going with it. Gotta keep rolling.
Absolutely.
Make
You
note that Rory does not have a shock king.
Good to know. No shot kinks for the Roar Man. Hey there, Roar Man. So, you cut into this individual. You feel, Rornak, it's this strange sensation as this individual is weakening, as you see them begin to bleed, and you feel their life force beginning to drain. You feel that untapped power of the storm begin to leach out from them. Jasper, you would also feel the same thing since you're in such close proximity. As he's getting weaker, that magic is getting stronger and beginning to leave. You feel almost this pull, as if you could catch this energy, that you could keep it from being stable. As you feel that magic start to disrupt, that lightning starts to arc in different direction. As he's getting weaker, you find that the lightning is getting more volatile. But we'll keep it moving down to the individual to the northeast, southwest. There's the anchor to the west. And he, seeing his buddy get muffed up over there, is going to move. How much do I have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, just enough at disadvantage. He's going to toss out one of those boomerangs at you, Jasper. That is going to be a disadvantage, though. It would be a super disadvantage. Ooh, it saves you from the crit. That's a 7 and a 20 right there. But it gets to come back around for a second attack as it returns to sender. So, once again... Woo! That's an 18 and 19. This time, not so lucky.
Yeah, she's juking up a storm, but finally gets caught.
It's the backswing on these things. You're not used to a weapon coming back. You've never had to watch out for the backswing on ranged weapons. Only melee weapons ever gotta watch out for the backstring. But you only take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Alright. Then it is Freddy.
Can I get just like an update on exactly where everything is?
Since you're at the very back of this one, I'll let you as Mikey know. However, Freddy would not be privy to all this information because he can't see half of it. But Freddy would know about there's the Bloodwind in the center. That is directly south of the pillar. There is the Elemental Anchor on the north balcony that's being flanked by Rornak and Jasper. You would not be aware of the elemental anchors that are in the direct center to the east and to the south, but as you head up the stairs, you would definitely see the one to the west.
Okay. And they're like on the balcony,
Yeah, they are in the center square, not towards the the second square that leads off to the edge, but closer towards the ritual.
Okay.
And they're all in that like, kind of center square, in all four corners with the blood wind in the center. All attached by these kind of arcs of lightning that are being channeled through their body, and surrounding each one is like this small personal whirlwind.
All right. So I'm gonna come up the stairs, and do I hear them chanting?
Oh, for sure. The only one that has stopped chanting is the one engaged with Jasper and Rornak.
I'm going to cast silence at the area of the one on the far left, on the west side.
Gotcha. Shoom. It goes completely silent, but the energy is not broken.
Okay, and I only have half movement, so I can't really get anywhere and be safe. So I'll just like stick at the top of the stairs and just kind of like duck down.
Gotcha. All right. Then it is the individual to the south. Who? Oh, Jove, you're within range. You're getting a boomerang. But this one is not at disadvantage. No, it would still be at disadvantage because you're in long range. Up. God, so close. 17.
Misses. He gets the shield up.
The backslash. That's less. So Jove, you see this boomerang. You duck, and it catches into the Bloodwind's whirlwind and gets flung right back. However, you're able to keep low to the ground, and the boomerang returns back to the elemental anchor to the south. All right, that's one round. You all see the little pebble-sized point of light above Yavendel begins to grow once more. You feel a creaking inside of the tower, as if something is pulling at the very stones. However, we go back to the Bloodwind. And Jove, you're really trying some shit that this dude does not like. So, let's see. 10 feet away. Interesting. Okay, Jove. Make me a strength saving throw.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not great. That's only 11.
Oh, that is a failure. Jove, you are immediately pushed 15 feet back. And with your positioning, make me a dexterity saving throw.
That's much better. That is a 20.
You are pushed to the very edge. You feel this blast of wind as if the whirlwind is ripped from that direction and flung towards you. This torrent of wind. It gets underneath you, pulls your feet out from you, and if you begin to feel yourself being pushed, sliding across the ground, almost prone, up to the very edge. You feel one of your ankles slip off the back into open air. But you're able to get down low, throw your body down, and catch yourself to stop yourself being blown off the edge of this tower.
Hate that.
Yeah. You know what they're gonna hate way more though, is as a bonus action, he peeks his head out from the side and sends that gust of wind at Rornak. Make me a strength saving throw.
Ooh. That's a 16 to save.
That will save. You feel this rush of wind, and you drop ears on into the stone and steady yourself. Rornak, you feel, had you failed this one, you would have been flung out to open air to your second death by falling.
Oh.
that's going to be his turn. Then it is the individual to the east who... Oh. Is going to go over to you, Jove. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, just has just enough movement. And is going to make me a contested athletics check.
I got an 18.
Oh, that's a 17. As one of these anchors comes over to push you off. They slam a foot into your chest, and for a moment, you remember to your time at Mr. Savage's of catching Zorblazin Stow's foot to the chest. But this time you're ready for it. You lean into it and stop them from getting the full force, and they are not able to push you off the edge of this tower. That's his turn. Jasper.
She's gonna continue hacking at the one we started with.
Go ahead and you are flanking it, so just roll normal.
Oh,
Actually,
that's cool.
yeah.
That's pretty decent. That's even better. So that's a 22 to hit.
22 to hit. Got it. That will indeed hit.
So that's 14 magical slashing.
So, as you take 2 points of lightning damage, how do you want to do this?
Ooh. I think it gets hit in the back twice by Rory and turns around, and she kind of just bisects it at the waist.
As you do, lightning arcs out. Rornak and Jasper, you both feel this surge of energy, like when Aquila pushes her lightning energy through you. You feel that acceleration, that speed. You feel raw elemental power, and you feel it beginning to escape. You feel the instability, and you feel that power about to surge back into the rod and disperse wildly. You both, either one of you, may use a reaction to capture this magic, to take it into your form itself and stop it from exploding out.
Rornak will do so. Rornak will use his reaction. And he'll, if you even will, like for flavor, he'll go back down and grab Earzarn and try to like kind of use that as a lightning rod to channel that magic and that lightning.
Absolutely. As Jasper bisects this individual and that lightning begins to shoot out, it strikes you, Jasper, and you feel your body tense up for a second before you feel Earzarn press close to you. And Rornak, you step forward and using Earzarn to pull the lightning from Jasper and from this dead body, and you are now anchored to the ritual, which the effects will become apparent when it is your turn.
Gotcha.
She kind of looks at him in a bit of amazement for a moment, and then moves to go get behind the one that's fucking with Jove.
Ah, absolutely. That would be because they're right on the edge, right there in the southeast corner, only about 5 feet down from where the pillar dot is. So for you to get there, that'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. It would take 65 feet to get to that individual.
We'll go ahead and use the bonus action to get there. And she'll get right behind him for Jove.
You got it. Rornak, on the start of your turn, you are filled with elemental power. A tempest rages inside your body. You can feel this power is actively trying to leave your body. You take 2 points of lightning damage at the start of the turn. Make me an Arcana check.
Real quick, I think it's my turn.
Yeah, we did skip Jove.
Did we? My bad. It is
Yeah.
Joe's turn.
Jove feels very, very pissed getting tossed around like that and nearly meeting his fate via kick to the chest. So that anger bubbles within him, and he's going to drop concentration on Hunter's mark. And Jasper, you'll see the tip of the Electrum spear start to nearly radiate with that white, hot, phosphorus heat as he casts a second level Searing Smite, and will, taking advantage of this sweet, sweet flanking, try and put it in the center of this individual. That is 18.
18 will hit.
Going to use Piercer to re-roll my piercing damage. Nice. Okay, so that is going to be 6 piercing, 7 fire for a total of 13.
Okay.
And then removing the spear and doing a second strike to the inner thigh of this creature, of this person. He's going to roll a... that is only a 13 to hit.
A 13 does not hit. You do take 7 points of lightning damage on the first strike, though.
Okay.
As that lightning damage strikes you, Jove, you feel it course up behind your shoulders. And for the first time in days, you hear Akila's voice. Jove, call me out. I need to be here. Or you will die. As that lightning shocks through your whole system, you feel that kind of... almost like a car getting jump-started for you and Akila. And you feel her presence once more.
That feels good. Akin to Mr. Incredible getting that back crack in, and he is going to go ahead and, because right now his back is to the the abyss essentially, so he is going to sidestep around, not leave the area for attack of opportunity, but he is going to at least be like parallel.
Absolutely.
with the edge.
You step so that it's kind of... you've got your back more towards the Bloodwind, but not towards the Element Anchor who just tried to kick you off the ledge.
And are we closer to the southeast section or the northeast section?
You would be closer to the southeast section.
Gotcha. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make
Yes.
sure. With all of that, that's Joe's turn.
Okay. Then, you guys killed that dude. So, now it is Rornak. Rornak, you take that 2 points of lightning damage as you are holding this energy inside your body. You feel every atom of you filled with energy. Roll me that Arcana check.
Will do. That's a 7.
That's a 7. It will take your whole action, but you feel as if you can focus this energy and hold it within yourself, you won't have to keep getting shocked by this. You'll be able to anchor yourself to this energy and not the other way around.
It's 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 like intense meditation as Ronak just kind of like tries to clear the mind as much as he can, hyper focused in on all this energy swirling and like almost like just kind of like envisions like a single point in his mind and in his head and just puts all of that focus energy right there as he will use his action to try and just kind of maintain it and hold it here.
Doing so gives Rornak his own personal storm. Whilst this ritual is active and you are now an elemental anchor, Rornak, you have resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and thunder damage.
Oh,
You no longer take the damage at the start of your turn for being an anchor who's unattuned. And you gain a +3 AC against ranged attacks. You see, the rest of you see Rornak He-Man style, like lifts up Irzarn and receives the bulk of this lightning charge from the death of this anchor and pulls it into him. You see his body shudder like Zuko after taking Azula's lightning strike during their Agni Kai. And for a moment, his whole body twists and contorts until, once again, it's just going to be an Avatar-heavy referenced session. Like Aang versus Yirkon in Legend of Korra, like untwists himself out of that state. You see this kind of glow behind the eyes, and you see Rornak's body swirl around him. This storm and crackling, like an old lightning storm, has now covered Rornak's body like a sort of armor. And Rornak, as you finish kind of your action to hold on to this energy, you open up and feel powerful.
oh wow. And then just to double check, you said resistance against acid, cold, fire, and what was the other one?
Lightning and thunder.
Lightning and thunder. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, got that all down.
Or easier to say, you have resistance against energy. Energy-based
Makes sense.
attacks.
Makes a lot of sense.
So, you still have your bonus action movement.
Okay. Man, that's wild. I guess Rornak will bonus action movement. Rornak will head on over towards, because Jove is dealing with Jock. I forget the new name we're using for him,
The Bloodwind.
the Bloodwind, yeah. Yeah, kind of armed with that new power there. Rornak will turn his attention and see Jove sparring there with him, and will use his movement speed to get up as close as he can. I don't know if I can get there, but
To the Bloodwind.
yes.
From where you're at, since you only have that 20 feet of movement speed, you can't get anywhere close to the Bloodwind or your party with only 20 feet of movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
But you could certainly start making your way that direction.
Yep, he'll make his way towards them.
All right, well, you move 20 feet towards your party with this newfound power. Then after Rornak, that'd be he's dead. He already went on his turn. East, south, west. Okay. That one's to the west. So this elemental anchor is going to use an action to mingle with the winds, rushes forward, and levitates up into the air to land on top of Yavindel's cage. And you see his body is pulses with magic as he looks down to you, Rornak, and he's gonna throw a lightning bolt at you.
Go for it.
Oh, it was only a 13.
13 will not hit.
A bolt of lightning strikes near you, Rornak, but does not hit. That's going to be his turn. As then we move on to Freddy.
All right. Did the one on the west act? What did he do?
The one on the west is now on top of the cage holding Yavendel, who is channeling elemental magic to hurl lightning bolts.
So he's no longer in the silence.
Yes, he ran out of the silence.
I mean, I might as well keep concentration until I need to get rid of it. Is anyone channeling, like, physically channeling the, like, lightning rod thing?
Roll me an Arcana check. 16. Looking at this ritual and with your study at the Brotherhood of the Cloaks, looking at it and how this is working is, you get the sensation or the idea that they are not the ones, they're not channeling, they're anchoring energy that's already there, that they are not the ones that are creating this, that they are simply widening out this power, that they need to anchor themselves to this one, rather than like channeling like you thought previously. That they are simply holding this energy here and letting it grow, consume, and expand. That they themselves are not the source of this power.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna do a firebolt at the one on top of her cage.
Go for it. Let's see that firebolt.
14.
14. That'll hit.
Woo. First time I've done something today. 13 fire damage.
You did heal me earlier. That's something.
Yeah.
Okay. The west one. 13. Gotcha. As the firebolt hits the individual on top of the cage, who looks down and meets your eyes, you can see the bits of flame immediately whisked away by his own personal storm. But he does look singed.
That's my turn.
Okie dokie. Then it is the individual to the south. Boy, Jasper and Jove, you're doing some work over there. He doesn't like that at all. So, he's going to throw a boomerang at Jove, you're first. Oh, that's a natural 18.
That'll hit.
That'll just hit. All right. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as it returns back to the elemental anchor. So he's going to continue. Staying put right there. Back to the top with the Bloodwind. Huh. We're at, this is round number 3, 4. Jasper, at the start of initiative count number 20, you feel the poison finally wear off in your veins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yours only lasts a minute.
I see.
And give you 30 seconds for everything you did down there. And so we just needed to get through the rest of the rounds. So you are no longer poisoned. At 20. That's we're on round 13 of this fight. So at 13. Still can't get that one yet. Okay. The Bloodwind is going to use a bonus action to try to push you back off the ledge again, Jove. Roll me a strength saving throw.
All right. Strength this time is going to be 22.
22? Yeah, you are not getting pushed off of this tower. Not today. However, in that kind of gust of wind, you feel the temperature drop as you're going to use bonus action to use that wind, and then his action to cast Ray of Frost down through that. God damn it. It's a crit fail. So that will do the damage of 13 plus 5, so that's a d10. Oh, that's actually a d8. Okay, so it deals 4 points of cold damage to the one that tried to kick you off the tower with that crit fail.
Good. Fuck him.
Then it is the one who just took that cold damage. Heard what you said, Jove.
He'll take a Constitution save at the beginning of his turn as his chest is on fire.
Indeed. That's only a 10.
Ooh, he will fail and he'll take 6 points of fire damage.
You got it. He's going to ignore the flames, because you can see while they are there, every time they seem to kind of like ignite and full, they're immediately like snuffed out by the wind. It's like embers that won't go out but won't light up either, as it kind of flares up. But this personal whirlwind seems to be dousing the full power of your flames. So he's going to take 2 short sword attacks against you. Oh, that's not going to do, because I know your AC now. That's going to be double nose. That's a 10 and a 2.
No.
All right. Jasper, your move.
Just keep making attacks against this blue guy, I think.
Absolutely.
Although Jove kind of shifted, so she's gonna have to get flanking as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. To get flanking on this, you're going to have to head 5 feet down, so that, like, if you move another 5 feet south, you'll go off the edge, but you will get flanking on this one. They're kind of having this battle right on the side of the edge of this one. Right. So if you want flanking, you'll have to put yourself in a position.
She's been known to put herself in positions, so she's gonna do that and skip the flanking.
Absolutely. Let's see it!
Well, that's probably a hit at least. So that's a 21 to hit.
A 21 will hit.
Oy. It's only 9 magical slashing.
9 magical slashing. 23. Yeah, you can see the energy as this anchor is starting to slow as they begin to bleed more from the various wounds and the damage, the fire, the cold. The energy is starting to arc out of them more wildly, and you begin feeling that same sensation. This time, Jove, you're the one that feels this elemental power, and you feel something feasting on it. You feel as that energy is getting wilder and closer to you, you feel that heat from between your shoulder blades begin to start creeping. It feels less behind your shoulder blades, like it's starting to spread. As it gets closer and closer to this, you can feel that lightning goes past that center part in your shoulder blades and now touches both sides. Closer to this elemental energy, that bond with Aquila is becoming empowered. But, Jasper, you will also take 5 points of lightning damage from that strike.
Super.
Ja. Anything else from you, girl?
Oh, it's gonna have to be it.
Jehovah.
All right. Hearing Aquila's call, he is going to think deep and grab onto that connection that he has with her. But but it feels different this time. Instead of it being a crackle of lightning energy and a flash that she appears from, Jove looks down at his arms and he notices the veins, incredibly vascular and almost looking like they're going to pop out of his skin as he sees almost what looks like a greenish liquid that passes through it and goes into the front of his hand, and inexplicably from the center of his palm a mist comes forward, and similar to how Aquila has apparated through a mist of like a cloud in a flash of lightning, his hands go forward and a green mist comes forth in front of him as it condenses down, and Aquila takes shape in a different form, drawing on their new, deeper connection, rather than her primary trait being lightning, which is branching from her side. Here, she takes on her poison form, drawing on the stoutness of Jove's lineage as a stout halfling, as she opens her mouth and shakes off like a dog that is getting up for the first time for the day, and she breathes heavily through her nostrils as a green mist comes forth, and she opens her mouth, and instead of that mucusy lightning mucus that was there before, it is instead a wicked looking green spittle, as Aquila comes out in a new form that she hasn't, in her poison form.
Ooh.
In this one, you see, Jove, now that some of these changes were not based in your mind. You see Aquila's shoulders are wider, her frame much thicker. The beaver-like tail is now completely done away with. She doesn't have a tail in this form. You see, like, pointed horns, almost kind of like quills coming up through the back instead of that kind of hornless form that she usually takes, looking more like a large blue Gila monster. This one is far more Drake-like, far wider. And there's that little part of you that can't help but see the resemblance in her yellow eyes of that of her and Vorgan Shorax. This
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just enjoying the comparison.
As she, you feel, especially towards like her limbs, just instead of having that large tail to balance her, each limb is now strong enough to hold her weight properly. So, we fight. And what does Aquila do?
She, first off, now we got this guy with his back against the wall, and I think Jove is kind of pissed, so he's going to take the attack action, and for the first attack, he is going to attempt a shove to push this fucker off the tower.
Okay. He'll make a contested athletics.
Come on. Oh, it's so close to a nat 20. That is only gonna be a what's that? A 15.
A 15. Unfortunately, he rolled a natural 16.
Ooh.
So you go to shove him low, and he just lifts both of his feet up. It's less of a push. You don't actually get to touch. He just lifts both legs up, and for a second you push underneath, and it's almost like they float in the air just an extra couple seconds longer as his feet gently touch back down to the ground. It just kind of awful smirk on his face.
Wanting to wipe that off of him, he will follow that up with a good thrust of the Electrum Spear. Oh, so close to a natty 20. That's going to be 26, though.
26 will do.
Aquila will add that d6 of poison damage.
Yes.
And then Jove will use one of his uses of favored foe to add the d4. Nice. So that is going to be 5 poison and 11 piercing for a total of 16.
How do you want to do this in tandem with Aquila right now?
Yes.
I like to think that she so as the opponent kind of lifts up and gets that smirk on his face, Aquila is going to get up almost like on like her hind legs just for a second. It looks weird. It's more like she's like pushing herself up to get real close to the dude's face, and she opens up her mouth, and just this gout of poisonous gas just goes up into his face, and it startles him, and he's definitely not thinking, or he's trying to bat it out of his face, and as he does that, exposes his underarm, and Jove sees that and slips the spear into the underarm, and is really able to wrestle and pin him back into the ground, finding the heart to try and pop it and keep him still.
Jove, as 3 points of lightning damage hits your form, you feel that energy begin to dissipate, grow volatile. Jasper, once again, you feel that energy dissipate. But Jove, since you used your, I believe you used your reaction to have Aquila add her damage to that.
Yes.
You feel it beginning to escape you. Jasper, you feel that moment just like Rornak did, where you could grab this power, pull it into your own form. Feel that speed. Does Jasper go for it? You may use your reaction to anchor yourself to this power.
That's a toughie. I think she would. She would try to.
Absolutely. You use a reaction and you follow the same suit as Rornak did, putting your shadow axe into the arcing energy, leaving this anchor. And as it expels out in this like reverse lightning bolt shooting up towards the sky from its body, as the elemental anchor's body falls off the tower and begins hurtling towards the ground, you feel that energy like a yo-yo returning, shoot back down, and you feel it shoot into your own body, Jasper. You feel immense elemental power. You feel magic in your body. And while you have been under the effects of magic and taken potions, this is the first time you feel like you yourself are magical, at least for this moment. However, the energy isn't anchored. It's anchored inside you, but you are not anchored to the ritual. At least for the time being. Jove, you see, as this lightning escapes up, Jasper puts her shadow axe into it, and the lightning travels down into her body. And you see that same kind of shuddering movements, that kind of light behind the eyes, as you feel all of that potential elemental power about to break free shoot into Jasper, whose body is now containing it. What else you got, Jove?
I guess he would turn around and get the fuck away from the edge there. So we took out the east one, so there's still
Yes.
one on the south balcony, right? Or did
Yes, there's one on the
Okay.
south balcony who hasn't moved yet, who's just been pinging you with boomerangs. There's the one that's on top of Yavandel's cage, and then there's lastly the Bloodwind.
Jove is going to use his 25 feet to go laterally west. So for where I think I'm at, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, he can by my calculations, he can get pretty close to that, like in between the two pillars of the south balcony.
Oh, absolutely. With 25 feet of movement from where you're at, I think, see it right there. And then you move down the 5 feet to get better flank. So that'd be 5, 10, 15, 20. You could get to the southern elemental anchor if you wanted to.
Really close the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the way to go about it, and good old Akila's gonna come with me.
Absolutely.
And that'll
Anything
be
else?
turn.
You got it, I assume. Since you use your bonus action, I think to pull Aquila, she can't use her action to do anything but dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she takes the dodge action. From Jove, that dude died. And then that dude also died. So, first is Rornak.
Alrighty. So question, I know using the action gave me those bonuses. Do I have that at the start of this turn, or would I have to use the action again to keep that up?
You do still have that at the start of your turn. Now that you are attuned to the ritual, you maintain the benefits as long as the ritual is going.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then, Mr. Bloodwind, is he within 20 feet of me?
Of you, now that you've used 5, 10, 15, 20. He is within 20 feet of you.
Beautiful. Rornak will make his way there, drawing Earzarn and this He-Man power. Gonna take a couple strikes.
Absolutely.
That's at an 11.
An 11, that's not going to do.
Yeah. Try one more strike. Let's see. Dang. Disadvantage got me both times. That's another 11. So
Yeah, 11's not going to do.
Yup.
You are swinging Earzarn with this force. You feel like your two whirlwinds kind of colliding together. Bits of arc and lightning shoot out from the strikes. But behind this kind of magical prowess that the Bloodwind is showing, at its core, Rordak you recognize as a warrior.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Rornak. Yeah. Rornak is gonna use a bonus. He'll use his bonus action for the unarmed strike.
Go for it, baby.
And yeah, that's likely not gonna do. That's a 12.
No, also not going to do.
Yep. Coming at him with blows, but the Bloodwind is certainly ready for it.
Yeah,
And
both the rest of you watch as Rornak and the Bloodwind begin spinning around each other. Bits of lightning and blade spinning and crashing as they fight underneath this kind of large iron lightning rod at the top of this tower.
Dope.
That's
all for me.
Then it's that dude on top of the tower. Let's see. You're fighting the Bloodwinds, but he also sees your personal storm, so he's very aware of what's happened to you. So instead, this one, he's going to throw a lightning bolt down at Jove. That's not going to do. That is only a 16.
Nope.
Another discharge of lightning obliterates the stones in front of you, Jove. You can see, in little bits and pieces, you can see kind of the room underneath you after that strike. All right, that's its turn. Then, Fredward Poopy Pants.
Yeah. Okay, so there's one on the south, and is the one on the east still there, or did that just get taken down?
The one on the east, Jove has slain.
Okay, So it's just the one in the south and the one on top of the cage and the Bloodwind.
Indeed.
Okay, where's the Bloodwind?
The Bloodwind is directly south of the star, and directly south of him would be Rornak.
Okay, and where's the cage?
The cage is on top of the star, about 10 feet up.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna be able to hit both the Bloodwind and the one on top of the cage with a sleep spell. I'm gonna cast it at 3rd level,
Oh, snap.
giving me 98.
98? Whoa!
Good luck.
Whoa.
Good luck having 98 health.
9-1.
So that's 44.
44. The individual on top of the cage immediately goes to sleep. Rornak, you see a slight lull in the defenses of the Bloodwind for just a moment before he shakes his head and continues to engage you.
And then I'm just gonna shout, "One on top is a sleeper," and then I duck back down.
Absolutely. Okie dokie. Then is the one to the south. There you are, Jove. Right there. Interesting. And he... Yeah, they're made of different stuff. He's gonna move forward. Oh, I know. He's also going to use his mingle with the wind and run towards you, Jove, and just go right above you, just completely missing you and Aquila, and lands right behind you, Rornak. Landing. Used his action to do that, but he's actually going to strafe one to the left and be on your left. So you've got like the Bloodwind in front of you, Rornak. And then to your left is this individual. Which you'd be like, why would he do that? Because as we return back to the top, round number 5. Round number 5 is here. Excellent. Which means I get to do this. Where's Aquila at right now, Jove?
Right next to me.
And you guys...
Lateral.
Lateral?
We would be facing, like perfectly parallel with the south balcony.
The south balcony. Are you on the left or the right of Aquila?
I guess I imagine that she would be on my right, so...
Be on your right. Gotcha.
So.
Then... Okay. I need Rornak and Jove to make me dexterity saving throws.
It's 17.
Success.
And a 16.
That is also a success. You guys take half the damage of the lightning bolt spell. As pulling from the lightning rod through his body and straight forward. Rornak, you will take a quarter of this damage, since you are attuned. Jove, you only take half. 4, 12, 18. Let's round it up. So Jove, you take 11 points of lightning damage, and Rornak, you take 6. As putting one hand to the rod, pulling down, there's another screech as lightning is pulled from Yavendel down through this, empowering the strike, and a bolt of lightning shoots out across the top of this one, obliterating one of the pillars. This blue lightning streaks out across the sky. Since that's directly south, Rornak, you hear the bing as the lightning strikes the dome of Ilmater and leaves a large blackened scorch mark on the golden dome of your home. Then, it's Jasper.
let's see here. She is going to get up behind the one to the left of Rory.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yep, you can indeed do that.
Dope. Get that flanky attack in. Not great. That's a 16 to hit.
A 16 to hit the elemental anchor. A 16 does hit.
Beautiful. And that's going to be 15 magical slashing.
Gotcha. Reduced down to 1 point of oh, actually. Yeah, that would you take 1 point of lightning damage. As the energy within you sparks up. You're able to hold it, since you use your action to strike this individual instead of attuning. Here, let me ask. Would Jasper want to attune to this energy or run over and make the strike? I should have asked you at the start of your turn. My mistake.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, I will allow you. You may have your turn as is and do 15 points of damage to the elemental anchor, or you may roll an arcana check to see what it takes to attune to this ritual.
I think she'd probably just run up and do the hit.
Gotcha. Take 2 points of lightning damage. And then another 3 points of lightning damage from hitting the individual.
Randy did a hit.
Oh no. Yeah, that'll be it for her.
Gotcha. Jove, as it hits your turn, Aquila looks to you. Jove, I need to be one of the anchors. It's what we need. Get me close.
Right. And he's going to use bonus action to cast a first level Zephyr Strike, which I believe should give us ample movement to get to the one that I think that Jasper just hit, right? Because she didn't hit the
absolutely. Yeah. The one that was in front of you on the south levitated and jumped over to open up the room for the lightning bolt to be struck through you both.
Right. So yeah, he'll go and close the distance, and so have that Zephyr Strike up. So the first one. So this will be with advantage.
Indeed.
I suppose I would get myself into flanking position, so it'd be kind of manage either way, but still. Oh, so close to the natty. So yeah, that's gonna be a 26.
A 26 will hit.
Get to do the D8. 4. So that's gonna be 8 piercing. Oh, and I'll also have Aquila add the D6 of poison rather than this time. Since she'll be not doing this from a right up in the face. What I imagine is she's gonna like purse, which I mean she doesn't really have lips, but really make a very very small opening and shoot like this globule of spittle like a bullet. And like right as Jove makes contact with the spear point, when he pulls it out, it's like she's spitting poison into the open.
How much poison damage?
Sorry, yeah. Oh, nice. So that is 6 poison.
And then, Joe, was
Uh,
this a ranged attack or a melee attack with your
This was
spear?
melee.
Melee?
This was
Absolutely. So you will take 6 points of lightning damage as your spear points and with the acid begins to dissolve the inside of this elemental anchor. You feel once again that energy begin to be released from the body. Now, when Aquila uses her breath to add, is it her using her reaction or you using your reaction?
Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's her. Yeah, it's her. She has the reaction to use infused strikes.
Okay, well then, Aquila cannot use her reaction to catch this energy, but you can. Jasper and Rornak, you feel this energy beginning to dissipate and shoot and arc out, but you're already holding as much as your body can maintain. So Jove, you may use your reaction to catch this energy or let it dissipate.
Oh, you know what? Actually, he can't because he's down. Because you said that was 6 on the blowback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's down. So he does that strike, gets the lightning through the spear, and he drops.
Ooh, that was bad for you guys. That's really bad for you guys. Because I need Jasper, Aquila, and the Bloodwind, Rornak, and I would make Jove do it, but Jove, you're unconscious, so you just take this damage. Make me dexterity saving throws.
Ooh. Rolled real low. That's a 10.
Fail.
Yeah. Aquila rolled 9, so
Fail.
5.
Fail. That is, luckily, well, not luckily for you, Jasper, that's 10 points of lightning and thunder damage that you take directly. Rornak, you take, since it's 5, 5. You don't have it then. Since I round up, that's 6 points of lightning and thunder damage. Aquila takes the full 10. Jove, mark off 1 death saving throw. Failure.
So, is that 6 points of damage altogether?
Altogether.
Okay, just check.
Yes, you have resistance, but you failed the dexterity saving throw. Jasper failed the dexterity saving throw. It doesn't have resistance since she didn't attune to it last turn. And then Jove's down. It strikes him because he's a near creature, but he's unconscious, so he immediately fails. Aquila fails, and then the Bloodwing also fails and takes, but he is resistant to both of those damages, so he takes 6 points of damage. Roll for concentration. Succeeds concentration. Okie dokie. As the elemental anchor perishes from Jove's wounds, but as that lightning feedback knocks Jove unconscious, and as Aquila uses her poison reaction to deal the killing blow, the energy is released. It arcs out, striking everyone within 15 feet of it, arcing all the way up, and oh gosh, that's 15 feet, and you guys are right there. Yep, it would strike the sleeping one as well. I'm sorry. That's 10 points to 6 for the sleeping, who is now prone but awake. That's 12 altogether. As this energy leaches out into the air, blasts holes through this roof, you feel the tower shift. You feel the pinhole begin to widen. It has now gone from a pebble to the size of probably a tennis ball, and is getting closer to the size of a softball. Yavendel goes to yell out something, but this arc of energy shoots for her. Whole form turns to lightning for just a second, being forced back down into her physical form. As if they're trying to force her into an elemental state that she just cannot obtain. Jove, I believe, since you're unconscious, use your bonus action for Zephyr Strike. Your action to strike, your reaction. That's the end of your turn. It would be Aquila's.
Yeah, she'll just stand unless she has a strong feelings otherwise. I imagine she would take the dodge action over the top of Jove, but you let me know if there's any other things going on in her head.
You just went down real hard and got struck. You're unconscious, which means you wouldn't be able to give a bonus action to Aquila, which means that she's running the show now.
Mm-hmm.
Aquila knows you well. Aquila is going to use her action, since now she's unbound by Jove's consciousness. Jove, roll me a d20.
That's 13.
13. I'm going to roll. What dice is for Aquila? We'll give her a Flavonius dice. She rolls a 12. Jove, you and Aquila are one person, which means that you share many things, including an attunement. Aquila's going to activate your Ring of the Dryad, and she's going to roll for it. Okay. That is, I believe it's a D8 for your Ring of the Dryad.
I have it as 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Got it. Okay, well then, I'll roll the d4. That's 2. Jove, you gain 7 hit points.
Hell yeah.
As Aquila will go to you and move your Ring of the Dryad into your mouth, and sharing that connection, the attunement that you both share, since you count as one creature together, is going to activate your Ring of the Dryad to bring you back to health. You regain 7 hit points.
Fuck yes!
And as you return back to consciousness, Aquila will say to you, when we slay the last one, I must take the power. Do you understand? And she looks to you with those yellow eyes intensely.
Yeah, and I feel like Jove would do his best just to groan out, Aquila, take power, as he's trying to get himself up for the next round.
So Aquila is going to use the rest of her movement speed, and she is going to attempt to scale up the iron rod to get to the final anchor. Jove, could you have me roll athletics for Aquila?
Certainly. Nice. That is going to be a 19.
A 19. Yeah, Aquila, with her strong limbs now, not in much the way that you once saw Vorgan Shorex climb Valjevo Keep. She just straight gargoyle style pulls herself on top of this. She does take a bit of lightning damage. She's going to take 3 points of lightning damage. But she gets on top of this cage with this last remaining elemental anchor and is poised to strike. That's Aquila's turn. As we go, that dude's dead. Rornak.
Alrighty then. A bit of a tough spot here in go mode, but we're still dealing with the Bloodwing, so we will take our attack against him. See. There we go. That's a 24 on that hit.
That'll hit.
Nice. So that's 13 magical slashing on the first strike. Go for the second.
Absolutely.
Do 17 do?
A 17 does do.
Beautiful. That's another 10 for 23 magical slashing altogether. And Rornak is going to take one of his stances that he does with ears on, as he kind of almost holds it, almost kind of dagger style, kind of down with a hand out, ready to kind of brace for an attack, as he will burn the key point for patient defense.
With your resistance, you take only 3 points of lightning damage from your 2 strikes against the Bloodwind.
Got it. Yeah, he's looking spicy, but he is still on his feet.
Absolutely. Then is, after Rornak, would be the dude on top of the cage, who is taking quite a bit of damage at this point in the game, is going to stand, and there is Aquila right there, so is going to try to stab her twice. The first one against Aquila, it's a 5. The second one against
nice.
Aquila, holy shit, double 5s.
Yeah, her
Okay.
thick scales just are able to blunt the force like it's nothing.
It's this terrifying moment for this elemental anchor of like being put to sleep in the middle of the ritual you've been working for who knows how long on, to like come back to consciousness by being struck by lightning, only to have a what looks like a small dragon appear to you and try to begin to attack you, and then striking it with his short sword only to bounce off the scales. It's this like horrifying awakening of draconic fury. That's his turn. Then it's Freddy.
That's the me one.
That is the you one.
Useless me here.
Useless Miwa.
So, is it just the one on top of the cage?
And the Bloodwind.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he died. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to move my 15 feet that I have because of my half movement speed towards Jove. And I'm going to have Johnny run from me, and he's gonna run up to Jove, and then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Jove, and then Johnny is going to cast that touch spell through himself on Jove. Oh, baby! That's 10 health.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
And then if Johnny would have any leftover movement, he would just try and get away from everything, knowing that all this shocking stuff is going on.
With that, Johnny would have, 5 feet enough to get away from the actual brunts of it. So Johnny begins running away from it, gives Jove the finger guns after delivering that Cure Wounds. Gives like a little ball of minty green. Just and then begins making his way away from the fighting. Because I believe rats have a movement speed of 20 feet.
I always don't have the that block pulled up, even though I know I'm probably gonna need it. at some
The
point.
rat block.
The rat.
The
block.
rat.
Yeah, speed of 20 feet.
It's 20 feet. Okay, yeah. So to get to Jove and everything like that would have probably taken the better part of 10 feet. So we'll say with you casting, get that up. Pull Johnny back 10 feet. He's out of the bulk of the fighting. Okie dokie. That's Fredward. Then, back to the top of the Bloodwind. Oh, this is going so poorly for the Bloodwind. Okay, Jove, you're down. He is going to cast. Oh gosh, do I have this? Do I have this right now? Can I pull this off? Let me just double check. Okay. Okay. That's how this gotta go. So, Jasper, you had been fighting the last elemental anchor. Jove, you're currently down. And the only one engaged with the Bloodwind right now is you, Rornak.
Wait, Jove is standing.
Jove isn't standing right now.
Yeah.
Jove is currently
but-
prone.
Yeah.
Conscious.
He's
Yeah,
conscious.
Cove-
but not.
Jove is prone right now.
Apologies.
Yeah.
And then you weren't attacking the Bloodwind, you were attacking the elemental anchor, which means the only person that could attack the Bloodwind right now would be you, Rornak. So,
Yes.
the Bloodwind looks to you and says, the wind can't be caught. So for now, neither will I. And you see he begins making a sprint towards the southern ledge. You may make an attack of opportunity.
He absolutely will go for the strike.
This is why you need Sentinel.
Oh, I wish I didn't have disadvantage. That was a nat 20. Does still hit with a 23 though.
A 23 will hit. Go ahead and make the attack.
Nice. That's for You don't add your modifier, or do you on a
You do.
reaction?
On a
Okay, cool.
reaction, absolutely.
Yeah, my bad. So that's 10 magical slashing.
10. Yeah, you slice up the Bloodwing. You catch part of the face, and you can feel Irzarn rip the mask off of the Bloodwing. You see what was until that pretty brutal face strike right there would have been a rather handsome human male, clearly of Mole Master descent. If anything, could be any number of individuals. Just, it's not some deformed figure or some maniacal noble. It is just a man underneath. Looks back to you, blood streaming from the wound on his face. We're not done yet. And you see he leaps off of the south balcony. You watch as it begins for a moment to begin hurtling downward, but moments later, as he's going to use his last third level spell slot to cast Fly, and he's going to begin heading down south, away from the monastery. Rornak, you know that where the Bloodwind is heading is away from the monastery, down through the path called Solitude, towards the town of Tomrav. As the Bloodwind is going to make his escape. You see that there's only one last elemental anchor. You can see that that kind of point of light starts to flicker. As you feel a large amount of stability in this ritual begin to fade. Jasper, you feel that arcane energy erupting underneath your skin. As you are unattuned to it, you can feel it trying to force its way out of your body to be released, to crash against the tower. But for the moment, you still hold it within. Rornak, you feel stable in your magics, at least for now. As there's one last remaining elemental anchor at the top of this tower. Which brings us to Jasper.
Yeah, she's gonna go ahead and attune to the magic.
Absolutely. You use an action and you find that central strength. You look deep within, and it's almost like you can imagine this ball of lightning bounding inside your body, like a pinball, just terrorizing your insides. And as you focus down, you feel a shadowed hand close around that ball of lightning and hold it perfectly still in your center core. There's a little bit of warm breath on the back of your neck for a second. I wonder if you could steal this. An interesting concept. Don't you think, Jasper? And you feel that kind of warm breath dissipate back into the wind. Any movement from you, Jasper?
Yeah, I think she'll try to run up the pole to go help Aquila.
Easy enough to do.
And yeah, she'll just try to give Aquila flanking if she can.
Yeah, you absolutely can. You are uniquely able to do so. Jove.
Uh, yeah, it's these moments that Jove wishes he had his own pair of spider walking slippers. But at that, he is going to, well, no, yeah, he's just gonna throw off 2 regular ass javelins.
Do
So
it.
well, because I can. Yeah. So the first one going to be a 23.
23 will hit.
Excellent. I will use second use of favored foe to add the d4. Re-roll because one of those because I was better. So that is 11 for the first one.
Gotcha.
And then the second one is coming. That is only a fit. 14 actually.
That's not going to do.
Jove will use his bonus action to allow Aquila to make an attack.
Excellent.
Jove will move forward a little bit. End his turn. Go over to Aquila. Aquila will get that sweet flanking.
Indeed.
Manage here. That is going to be for 17.
That'll hit.
Beautiful. This will be still just the D6, right? Yes. Nice. That is going to be 5 piercing and 3 poison.
Aquila continues to climb with these large, powerful limbs now, and she climbs up the rod, dodging, letting these strikes fall on her. Jove, you throw these javelins into the elemental anchor. Jasper, you kind of like get a hand on him to stop him from falling back, and you just see Aquila just climb up, all strength in the arms, get right to the neck of this dude, and just bites down. And you see that, unlike the lightning and the striking, with this poisonous view that just, like clawing through like burned paper, it's just, it almost turns his skin to like liquid ash as he starts to melt from kind of the neck downwards. There is that expulsion of energy, and Aquila doesn't even flinch as she begins to, and you feel the lightning begin to be pulled into her form. You see Aquila is consuming this elemental energy. The rest of you who are attuned begin to feel that energy be pulled towards Aquila as she is consuming this raw magical energy. I'll start with Rornak. Do you give up the energy you feel?
Yes. If he sees like Aquila has attuned and is siphoning it, then he will allow that. He will basically let her siphon.
She pulls your energy. She begins pulling energy from the central rod. You see Yavendel starts to flicker less and less, the lightning being pulled from her, and it's like watching almost like a pelican like choke down this amount of lightning. Just you see the colors on her scales beginning to change from green to almost a clear platinum at points as light starts to reflect off. Jasper, you feel that energy being pulled from you. Do you let go?
Yeah. Ugh. Well, I don't know. Without vision from math, I don't know. She kind of wants to hold on to it.
Yeah, you may choose
Yeah.
to not to relinquish this power. Jasper, you feel it being pulled, but you feel that warm breath and that cool hand. I think we could do something with this. Something even I've never done. I like the way you think, Jasper. And you feel kind of that. It's almost like that kind of ball of energy is being shadowed within you as it is sequestered away inside your person, held back, and you feel that kind of connection to the ritual immediately fade, but that energy is still within you somewhere, Jasper. This bit of elemental energy you have stolen. You see more and more of this energy leave the ritual, engorging Aquila. Her form gets larger and larger and larger until you see the back half of her begins to drape off the sides of this tower. And for a moment, you all see the specter of an ancient dragon, colorless, but larger than by all conventional means. Not sense of organ Shorax have you ever seen a dragon of this size. Perfect scales that glitter in multicolors. The pure draconic essence of this power. It holds all of it. You see it begin to glow, and the eyes lock to you for Joe for just a second. And you hear, "Now you see me for what I really am." As Aquila unleashes this energy up into the sky, the largest torrent of lightning, wind, and storm energy, a hurricane in and of itself, shoots forward, and you see the storm that has been surrounding the glacier, almost like a funnel, get pulled up into this strike. There is a shuddering sound as the largest boom of thunder echoes out. You can hear glass breaking across the monastery. And in a flash of lights, you feel Aquila's energy return to you, Jove. And it's overwhelming. You feel stunned by the amount of energy released in this coming back into your body. You feel... It's like when you put on the belt of dwarven kind, but all internal. Like your insides have now expanded. There's so much more energy. You feel part of that ritual inside with Aquila now. Larger. More abilities. And as the thunder comes to a close, there's a... as you feel the tower begin to sway and topple. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Well,
Wow.
shall we say goodnight to chat? Or I guess good afternoon.
Good tomorrow, chat.
Yeah.
Chat.
Gobbity-goo, chat. Nice nooner, you know. Thanks for joining us for an early game and for quite the fight on top of the Tower of the Wind. Many things have just happened. Well, as we always end these things, peace in the Middle East. Much love. We'll see you next Sunday at our usual time. Bye!